I had a bit of a love-hate relationship with Oberlin. One, in that it reminded me so much of my hometown. Uh, it's just a small, quiet town in northeastern Ohio, um, not much larger than my own. And but I've learned so much um, under the tutelage of Richard Miller there, um, and to be surrounded by people with like-minded interests, and to see, um, most of us who are doing this for a living now came from a situation where we were kind of the big fish in a little pond when it came to singing. But to finally be in an atmosphere where you were surrounded by lots of other big fish who came from all these other little ponds from around the world um, was really it was quite inspiring to see that you know you're not so different than you thought you were.
Mm.
Um, People may have treated you differently, but you really aren't as different as you think. Um, so to be exposed to you know people who had been considered childhood prodigies and other musical geniuses throughout that time, it really made it it took a lot of the pressure off that we tend to put on ourselves. Um, and it kind of helped to push you to be the best you could be at all times. Um, because you knew that, yeah, there was a competitive nature to the conservatory. With other singers, there was always the little rivalries and whatnot with other tenors, and them being interested in what repertoire you're singing, and what you're interested in what repertoire they're singing, and everyone's anxious to know what operas are going to be selected for the upcoming season, and who's going to audition for what, and, who's going to get cast, and so there's a lot of competition involved. um, I wish that my time at Oberlin had done less to prepare me for that aspect, but more sort of the business side of things, um, which I thought was one of the things that was really missing from my experience. Once you were out in the real world, it was kind of like, oh, okay, they didn't teach us about this part of it, so you kind of have to learn it on the fly. Um, you know, just things like you know dealing with your finances, doing taxes, um, you know, writing a cover letter, things of that nature, which you end up doing quite a bit in this business, but you don't get that experience actually in the educational setting. So yeah, so I did have kind of that kind of helped me form a love-hate relationship, because I thought back and I said, you may have really prepared me vocally, technically, whatever, but you know, as a business person, or as a business, which I am, I wasn't as prepared as I should have been.